Hi, everybody. Justin Gannon, eXp Realty in Las Vegas, Lindstrom Radcliffe Group. Today is Wednesday, September 28th, 2022, and here is your Las Vegas real estate market update. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is quickly look at the Excel sheet, but then I'm actually going to look at charts with you so you can actually see the market with line graphs. So you can see trends and kind of see where the market came from and where's it going over the past 12 months. So right now we have 8,028 homes on the market, a continual increase, but as I said before, we've always been in this 7,000 to 8,000 mark now. First time over 8,000 in a long time. Houses in escrow this week was 497, a significant drop. We have 452 homes were sold this week. Days on market average and median 36 and 28. I'm still not worried about days on market because these are easily skewed by clients and sellers taking houses off the market and relisting them as if they're brand new. Average sales price $527,927. The average sales price has started to drop. However, the median sales price, which is what we prefer, is $450,000 for the fourth week in a row. 1,391 price reductions this week. 17.8 weeks of inventory, meaning it would take 17 and a half weeks, 17.8 weeks to sell everything we have in the inventory at the rate it's selling right now. 705 new listings this week, which continues a trend of dropping. Now, let's take a look at the charts and actually look at all this as it's dropping. So here we go, single family homes for sale. This is a full calendar year. This goes back to September 29th of 2021 through now September 28th, 2022. As you can see, for homes that were for sale, we always say that there's something called seasonality, which is when things start to slow down after Labor Day, so Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then it starts to pick up again. So we kind of actually did see some of that as late last year as inventory dropped. But then, this is single family homes for sale. Inventory dropped. But then it just kept going, and we were already at a shortage. We were at a little more than 3,000 homes for sale. And then this is when we bottomed out, and then as you can see. So we know the number of houses have gone up for sale has gone up tremendously over 3 times. But I do want to point out, you can visually see it on the graph here. It's starting to level out a little bit. It has increased each week, but we've been over 7,000 now since July 6th. And you can kind of see that the trajectory has slowed down and how fast it's going regarding the amount of inventory we have for sale. Homes under contract, this is when you write an offer and it gets accepted. If you can look at the total trend line, from point A to point Z, it's gone down obviously, and you can kind of see it better here. This dip right here is because of Christmas and New Year's. This is December 22nd, December 29th, January 5th. That's expected to be a dip. And if you're writing offers on Christmas and New Year's, you really need to buy a house at that point. But as you can see, it's been going down, but then it's kind of back and forth right here between the 5 and 6 mark. As I said, we dropped under 400 in the 400s today, which is the lowest point for the past year. But it's still seems like we bottomed out. So as under contracts went down, so has obviously the amount of homes that were actually sold. So you can again see it. Even though it's bounced back and forth. Overall, it's trended down, specifically from the peak that we keep discussing, which was end of February. As it peaked from there, it's trended down significantly. So remember, this is a full calendar year going back to September of last year. The median sales price, which is the one we prefer to look at, because if you take every house that's for sale or that's sold and you create a bell curve, it's in the middle so that there's no skewing, because averages can be skewed as you'll see in the next screen. So the median sales price, going back to September of last year, obviously is trended up significantly, and then obviously it's trended down. But it's important to point out right here, as I mentioned earlier, we've been at this $450,000 mark for 4 weeks now. And that's pretty significant, I think, because no other point did it just flatline like that at a price point. So, are we at our bottom? I don't know. We'll find out soon. We'll find out. These houses. This is a sales price. That means these went in escrow 30 to 60 days ago, and now they're closing. So technically, as we've seen price reductions, and I'll show that too, the amount of price reductions we've had, this could come down a little bit, but to think it's going to go back to even just a year ago when we had a shortage of homes for sale, it's hard to even see that. This is the average sales price. You can see this part right here in the middle. It goes off the charts. We had a crazy 1 week where the sales price average was $780,000, and that's happens when a $5 million, $10 million home gets sold. And earlier in the year, we had those a little more significantly. So the chart doesn't go that high because then it kind of zooms out everything else. I wanted you to see the average sales price. It does go back and forth because of what's been sold. Different price points skew it, but you can obviously a trend up, and just like the sales price median, a slow trend down as well. Price reductions. This was the big one. Homes can only sell for a cheaper price if there has been price reductions, and I want to show this one because you can see that we had significant. This right here was in the 50s, I believe, in December of last year, and price reductions were just not a thing at this point. This is when everyone was writing multiple offers on multiple houses, and then it just skyrocketed. Because this is when all the showings stopped. And that's where we are as sellers now. If you're listing your house, sellers are price reducing it because they're still pricing it too high. They're not getting the showings they want, and with interest rates over 6% now, the buyers aren't out there. The buyers are not out there right now. So if you're planning to sell your house, sell it for the right reasons. And if you want to sell it now, you have to list it the right way. If you're trying to chase this number, this just shows you right here. If you can't see this with price reductions at this point and how high that is compared to where it was before, that just shows you the market. Again, though, we have leveled out a little bit on price reductions. But we want that to come down, because that means if it comes down, that means sellers are pricing their house at the correct price, and they're not chasing a market, and everyone can get back to buying and selling the homes the way it should be. And finally, weeks of inventory. Weeks of inventory, as I've discussed before, is how long would it take to sell everything if there's no new listings today, how long would it take to sell everything at its current rate? And in Las Vegas, we do 4.5 months as being an equal buyer-seller's market, which is 18 weeks. So 16 weeks would be 4 months plus 2 more weeks. As you can see, just based on supply and demand, when we had no inventory, we had no weeks of inventory. There's no houses for sale. And then it skyrocketed just like the number of houses for sale. But as you can see, we might have hit this peak as we've had a drop in new listings, and buyers have kind of seen the bottom out. And this is just visually showing it to you that there has been a drop, and then it's been a little back and forth right here in this 17, 18, 19 weeks of inventory right here. So that's important. Again, it's just showing that things are kind of leveling out. And new listings, I guess new listings is the final frame right here. Sorry about that. This is also just, again, it's just a visual thing is what I'm trying to do today versus looking at the numbers. So when I show you that, these numbers are factual. They're not opinion. So the number of new listings on the market. So break down here, this 300, 400, 500 new listings range. This is when prices were through the roof because the buyers were through the roof. Let's look at escrow. In escrow, so back then we were doing 900 homes a week. We were doing 850, 900 homes all in this area. And then we come back over here to new listings, and we only had 400 new listings. So again, a 500 discrepancy. And then you had all these sellers who were like, I want to sell my house now because they can find something else to buy, and they can sell for a lot of money, and it's skyrocketed. All right, so it's skyrocketed. The amount of new listings skyrocketed just with the price reduction skyrocketed. Okay, there's a trend there. So as new listings went up, price reductions went up because the people that were listing their house were not selling their house. It's just how it is. They're not selling their house. So it peaked out here at about 1,100 new listings a week. And then since then, there's been a drop. There's been a significant drop of new listings going down, while under contracts has seemed to bottom out as it's gone back and forth between this number. So that's what I wanted to show you, is just in the charts. So a quick review of each one. Single family homes went for sale, went through the roof, but it's starting to bottom out a little bit. Under contract went down, but it seemed to bottom out. Home sold reflects on that, so obviously that went down, but it seemed to bottom out. Median sales price went up, then went down, and now it seemed to bottom out. Average sales price very similar. Price reductions went through the roof, and that seemed to top out now. Weeks inventory follows all that. It went through the roof, but now it seemed to top out. And then new listings topped out, and now it's continuing to go down. It's not bottomed out by any means necessary, as new listings are still coming down. So that's where we are at with the market. What's the biggest struggle we are seeing today as realtors? It's on both sides of the fence right now. We can say it's a buyer's market because, hey, you're a buyer and you're going out there and you find the house that you want and you don't get it, but you find the next house and you find the next house. You can take your time again and you can write the offer that you want. The problem is the interest rates are through the roof. So we are having buyers, we recommend them to talk to their lender about 2-1 buy down to save hundreds of dollars on your interest rates today, and then potentially down the road refinance if those interest rates come down again. If you want more information about that with the 2-1 buy down, which is something that the seller would pay for you, let me know and I'll connect you with one of my preferred lenders who can give you the absolute correct information on that and set you up for success. But that's the biggest concern with buyers is just the interest rates are so high and the prices have not come down to where they want it to be, and they just can't afford the house. And then for sellers, we know what's going on. There are no buyers because of that. So sellers is 3 times, 4 times more inventory than it was earlier in the year, and there's way less buyers, and people are picking up their money, and especially the higher price points of $600,000 and up for people that are getting loans with interest rates through the roof. That is a ton of money. So everyone just needs to work together. Buyers and sellers work together, and there is deals to be had on both sides of the table if we all do this together, if you want to buy or if you want to sell a house. So if you have any more questions about the market, just comment below wherever you see this video or reach out to me directly. Love to talk to you. Justin Gannon, Las Vegas realtor with the Lindstrom Radcliffe Group, powered by eXp Realty. Follow me on social media at 702 Sales, and have a great day.